that any team throws at them. It's when you get them off kilter and when you get them off the balls of their feet that you really start to see the chinks in their armor. So we're going to see if Mantra can really show those chinks and kind of expose the pace that they're going to try and play at.
Plenty of grenades coming through. That's going to be a very risky scenario there. It will be the Rockets going down. It's Boo Boo already lifting up with that sniper rifle. Rockets coming in. He's got to be careful, and lots of early carnage off of the break. Nice green pushes coming in from both sides. Falcon is spawning in the Mauler, so it's going to be up to him to try to help this push out because they're split spawning right now in both Court and Mauler.
Yeah, I mentioned pace, and Snakebite flying off your plat to finish you back ramp is exactly what I'm worried about for the Mantra boys. They're going to be spawning in the Kneeler, and this is a perfect situation for APG to kind of stay alive and get 2 kills, which is going to allow TJ, you see Lethal running the flag on training, but now multiple members of Mantra spawning Courtyard. They're going to be able to stop this cap because of the questionable route that Sentinels decided to run this in.
Absolutely. Now you see 2 red X's there for Royal 2, so Royal 2 is going to have to back up. We talked about the power of the Boo Boo. That is Boo Boo Doo Boo and the force that he's been, but let's not forget he's going up against Royal 2 on the other side. And you know, when we talk about legendary snipers and just all-around consistent players that don't seem to miss shots with snipers or primary utility weapons like the DMR, Royal 2 is going to be a force this series. Of course, a player to watch, but you already know that if you've watched any competitive Halo over the last, I would say, 5 or 6 years.
15, almost. It feels
15,
like.
Get out of here.
It feels like, I mean, Royal 2, even in diapers, was doing strange things in Halo to players that he probably shouldn't.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know about what you're talking about. But strange comments all weekend long from your clutch. Here we go. After 2 minutes of play, we are still scoreless. Boo Boo coming on down under bridge, looking at APG. You do see Royal 2 dying on top turret. Falcon is already in the court. Might be an opportunity for Mantra.
Good job by Falcon to stay alive for a little bit, but APG plays the situation perfectly. He's able to crouch in the training, buy himself a little bit of time, and then get that poke headshot on the Falcon, and that's going to be a big kill. Ace trying to get rid of Sentinel Sniper as fast as possible. He gets taken down, and already we've seen like a little bit of change for Mantra in their gameplay, right? Every single game we've seen with 2 snipes on the map, Pip, Sank. We've seen Boo Boo Doo Boo sitting back with snipe for what feels like the entire game. Tox immediately was able to take out Boo Boo Doo Boo with that snipe, and he hasn't gotten one since. He does pick up an overshield here, but it's got to be a little bit of a distraction and a change to how the rest of Mantra really want to play around and what they've been doing all weekend.
Now Boo Boo trying to make this push up from the training pit. He will also push cuts. He's getting a lot of pressure, though, from Platt. He's going to need some help to clean up these 2 kills, and it's going to maybe come in the form of Spartan, who does have sniper rifle with a little bit of ammo left, trying to get some Platt nades just under the Platt box. Those are not going to connect, though. Also checking Mauler. Now here comes the court and cut push, and now they're going to start this run. Snakebite will die in the Mauler as well. Here comes the run. They're going to start that first BR run. APG still in the Mauler. They need to finish. Big win for APG.
Yeah, and he's getting sandwiched here, and unfortunately, even though that was a big kill, the rest of Mantra is in position to finish him off, pick up the snipe, and now Boo Boo Doo Boo does have a snipe. He needs to come back with his flag because the rest of Sentinels is overextending.
Ace goes down on the first BR. Who's there to run? Spartan's there. No worries. Double kill for him. They will get the first cap of the game and of the day. They'll go up 1-0. Mantra opening up early, and they're ready to get maybe a back-to-back cap here. Going to need a miracle shot from Boo Boo from the Mauler. That won't hit, so that run will be stalled there, but not before they go up 1-0 here after about 3.5.
Yeah, very important kill from APG there to take out Boo Boo with the snipe running the flag right there, because if he's unable to get that kill, Boo Boo might still be running that second flag in. And now this is going to be Mantra going down. We see some aggression from Sentinels. A triple kill out of Snakebite. Spots the overkill, but it doesn't have the ammo. APG is going to be there to clean this up, and this is going to be Sentinels' opportunity to run the flag.
Oh, man, I wanted it. You wanted it. We all wanted it. But in the end, they still get the control that they needed there. We can't even call it an unofficial overkill. Wish we could. Spartan goes down in this S1 as well. New angle here on the training ramp. He's forced to retreat as you do see other players dying on the plat. Clutch, what did you see there in terms of how that broke down?
Yeah, Mantra did such a good job of getting off their spawns and getting into the flag so quickly right there that they were able to stop the Sentinels push, which looked like it was going to be a good opportunity for a flag run, right? But Mantra's defense so far throughout this game has been pretty incredible, but how consistently they're able to get that one kill on the player that's supposed to be running the flag, and then no one from Sentinels is really in place to run it after he goes down.
Boo Boo almost gets caught off guard by the sword cuts and goes down, but that's a second overshield in a row for Mantra, so that bodes well. And now some ammo wasting coming in from Spartan as well. He stays alive, so might be able to get a few more shots off. Decides to transition from ammo wasting to going for no scopes. Doesn't hit either of those, but in the process of that will waste another 6 shots. But as we were saying, good power up control. so far from Mantra, and if you're rooting for those boys, you're going to be happy with the fact they're able to pick up 2 overshields because Clutch, as you know, once again, better than anyone else, the guys on Sentinels, generally one of the best historically in the entirety of competitive Halo history in terms of power-up control.
Yeah, and Boo in a very interesting spot right here as well. Getting kind of caught in sword, not able to really spot any players for a little minute of time, but he is going to stop the push by beating that 1 pick.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, though, Sentinels is going to have rockets. He does spot that player, and I love this play by Boo to kind of back up onto his turret and kind of get a change of scenery, because after you get that pick and sword, everyone's going to be calling you out sniping and sword, so he's going to relocate and get in a better position to kind of stop this rocket push that Sentinels is going to have to force.
One thing I want to keep watching, this is the second time we've really seen a pretty big runway push. We saw it earlier from Boo as well. Spartan also makes the runway push by looping back around under bridge. Let's expect to see more of that from Mantra, because it has worked out for them. And even though we have seen a lot of pre-nades coming in from Sentinels, they've been aware of that runway push. I think we're seeing Mantra use that more than Sentinels so far.
Yeah, I mean, that's an unbelievable job by Spartan to kind of open up the map for the rest of his team to push, right? Because he's able to push through runway and get that assist on the Lethal, get Lethal to no shield, it's going to allow these players to push through camo and green so much easier, because they have so much information of the camo green side of the enemy's team map instead of just blindly rushing through. And a huge headshot from Spartan right there with the quick scope on the Lethal under bridge. And Spartan's going to rotate towards camo. I love this by him, because this is exactly where you want to be with the snipe and reach. You want to have angles on camo and green, because that's where your team wants to push. 3
overshields in a row for Mantra. Boo will be taken down. It's nice pressure coming in, because you know the Sentinels side, especially Royal 1 over there, not too thrilled with 3 back-to-back overshields. But in that instance, they do very well to force the burn. Still 1-0 here, as we do see Spartan still set up on the long haul angle. Hits 2 bodies there, which due to that red X is probably not going to open things up too much, but it will slow down the rush for just a moment, give this side just a little bit of extra time to breathe. You're going to see Boo come off spawn. That was the player that you just saw die in green.
Yeah, although those 2 bodies don't result in any kills, what it's going to do is, like you said, Andy, it's going to slow down any push that Sentinels is going to have, and it's going to allow Boo some time to respawn, because if he doesn't land those 2 bodies, then this is going to be a much quicker push. But Snakebite eventually getting the headshot onto the player on plat right there, and now Snakebite sees an opening.
Here he goes now. There's a little bit of deja vu. We saw Snakebite on that push from long haul as well earlier with that multi-kill, that almost overkill. Wastes the last shot. He will go down. Spartan will clean up in the Mauler, but Lethal right away ready for those shots and forces him back. So a great match of Pit CTF so far to kick things off. We did see that cap come in from Mantra, but you know Sentinels is hungry and they are ready to strike. Spartan eventually comes all the way out of Mauler, all the way to green, and wins that battle. So you can kind of just tell the amount of respect these 2 teams have for each other, not with these blind pushes through, say, long or green. They know, each side knows there's going to be a lot of coordination required to put flags on the board. This will not be like their earlier tournament rounds here in Anaheim.
And that's why that courtyard push that Spartan was doing earlier was so effective, right? Because everyone's playing so patiently camo and green. Everyone's waiting for the first person to make a play. You get that player to push through the courtyard, and you're able to get some good damage and allow a good push. But Snakebite finds himself at the other team's base right here, and this is a great opportunity if they're able to get a couple kills to run this flag. But Boo top turret was sniped. This is a serious problem for Sentinels' run.
Here we go. Boo still up top turret. He knows someone's coming through green as well. Has to rotate cuts. Get some angles from flag as well.
Yeah, and Boo just looking for players. He knows that there's multiple members of Sentinel around him. I guess he's just trying to find them, because I think there's someone from Sentinels towards his courtyard right now, and he is kind of smelling them, but he doesn't have a great idea of exactly where he is.
No, I think that player actually went to, because we look at all 4 of them. Everyone's on the pretty much essentially on their side of the map. So looks like good communication, though. I would much rather, and I'm sure you would as well, I would much rather have a player on my Mauler first BR flag wondering if there could possibly be someone nearby, rather than blindly pushing up needles and thinking, they must have gone somewhere else, right? It's way better, especially with a 1 flag cushion, to play with the mindset that someone still could be around your base.
That's something that Boo does best. He really holds the back line so perfectly and has a great understanding of the game flow, and he's the last line of defense a lot of the time. And as we say this, a couple kills go in the favor of Mantra, and they're able to get this flag all the way to their camo. Ace finds himself with rockets. If he's able to get a touch here, the rest of Mantra can spawn flag here and have an opportunity, but Sentinels is going to be flying through camo and green. Doesn't look like they're able to get another touch. Flag reset pretty quickly there.
My gosh, yeah, it looked like Ace got that rocket off, then got that touch, and it came down to a few frames. And the fact that he did not get that flag touch. Also, we got to highlight Boo with an amazing shot there from the training on the top turret. He's already heating up, but now it looks like it's going to be a counter cap for the Sentinels side. They should be able to tie it here, barring any sort of disaster.
Yeah, and a disaster is what exactly is going to have to happen, because Royal 2 has snipe in the green, and he's done this all too many times across multiple halos on pit, to where he just holds it down and doesn't allow any overextensions. Falcade to get his face ripped off for trying to push Courtyard. Snakebite starting to catch on to these Courtyard pushes that Mantra is trying to attack them with.
And here we go. Snakebite answers back with another shot on Boo Boo. You can bet this Sentinel side is pretty sick of hearing us talk about the Mantra guys, and they are going to look to put on a performance and make some statements of their own. Now here we are tied at 1-1 with 4:36 left in regulation. Now a sniper battle between Boo Boo and Snakebite. Sign me up. I will watch this any day of the week.
Yep. I wish it was just an over replay and we could just watch them challenge each other right there. It does look like Sentinels was able to pick up the next overshield, so we feel momentum. They got the last flag cap. They're starting to get an overshield. This does not bode well if you're a Mantra fan. You really want to see the continuous aggression from them, and this is a good start with that from Booba pushing Courtyard, landing a nice body shot onto the player training, getting good shots on the lethal, and Fallicated is with him. It looks like 3 players from Mantra are going to be sword side of the map. They get 3 kills on Sentinels, and now they're pushing into the base.
Absolutely. A quick look there at his own green. Court spawns are coming in here. Needs to stay alive. Does Boo Boo, and they're going to start that run. We'll see exactly where that's going. Actually, it's ended immediately. Falcated does die on the flag. Ace is still trying to make something happen back in his own base, actually. So when you did see Boo Boo check his own base, there was a call out that there was a player there. Ace does very well to go all the way back. Once again, I love what I'm seeing from Mantra. They don't let that player throw them off. That could have been very dangerous if Ace dies there on the flag.
Yeah, but look at what Royal 2 was able to do. He forced Booba to come back to make sure that Ace gets that kill, right? He stops Fallicated from having any backup, because Mantra was so worried about what Royal 2 was going to do in their base if he's able to kill Ace that Boo Boo was forced to come back. Even though Royal 2 doesn't get a kill there, he does buy his team so much time that allows them to advance on the map.
A great trade from Lethal. Not only does he do all that damage in green, but he gets the trade on the sword ramp as well. That's another one dead. We are seeing all 4 down momentarily from Mantra. Who's the first to spawn? It's Boo Boo on the flag. Ace on the flag as well. Spartans there too. 3 players spawning flag. They don't know exactly yet. Sentinels does not see the spawn. Royal 2 bets, though, that they might be pushing this first BR. And it's actually Falcon's already out of the base. So is Ace. He's pushed cuts as well. So they're going to start this run without maybe the slaying numbers they would have hoped. But here they go now with the long haul run.
Yeah, and it looks like they are going to kind of fumble this flag for just a second. And Royal 2 needs to find himself some action here, because this flag guy did just go down. Fallicated somehow staying alive with 1 bar of health, does get taken down by Lethal, and it's Lethal's job to get a touch on this flag if he's able to. They are going to be able to cap this flag, but Booba playing this situation, reading it so perfectly, so patient, and now Royal 2 kind of gets exposed for not coming back with the flag.
Got to talk about that play from Falcated. We talked about 3 players spawning in flag and cuts. Falcated immediately goes out cuts. He goes under bridge. He flanks through pit, gets to the needles to get that flag stop. A huge route from Falcated. This is also the man on your screen here. Now 2 minutes left in regulation.
Yeah, Royal 2 doing a good job of making the best of a bad situation. He didn't come back with the fight the first time, so he plays his life perfectly, stays alive, is able to get a pick on the Ace, and now it's going to be another opportunity for Sentinels to run this flag. But Falcated top this turret, gets a nice shot on the Snakebite, gets a nice shot on the Lethal, and that's going to shut down this push.
If he hits this as well, it's a ridiculous shot. I'm not sure if he'll be able to finish, but the past 2 minutes of gameplay, I mean, Falcated has actually been the one-man show on the map. A huge flag stop. He's hitting shoulder shots like that into the first BR, which totally stops the rush, then finishing those kills, then hitting the body shot. Might hit that. 1 minute 25 left, but Falcated, I mean, totally taking over the map, and that's not easy to do. Pit is a huge map. He hits everywhere just now, and performances like that are what could be sees Mantra, but what could be the fact that makes Mantra see a game win here in our pit flag.
Yeah, I think that was a big moment in this game, right? If he doesn't get that double kill, then Sentinels is up 2-1, but he shut it down himself. And although we hop on board with Boo Boo, who gets taken out, it looks like the rest of Boo Boo's team, Mantra, is going to be able to kill the enemy Sentinel player running his flag and kind of reset the map for just a little bit, but there's no words to describe the volume and the significance of those 2 kills that Fallicated got, because there's only a minute left and they would be pressed to try and get another flag here in the next minute.
Look at that angle Lethal's using there, all the way from the turret ramp all the way to the first BR. Folks, that's an angle, if you only played Halo 3, you're correct. That angle did not exist in Halo 3, only exists here in this Reese version. Great shot there from Lethal onto Snakebite. Also hits a body as a snipe. tries to go for banking something off of a forge wall. That does not connect. But now, with only 22 seconds left, we can be sure that the next flag will win this game. We are about to be in sudden death overtime. Next flag will win.
Lethal's starting to catch on to Mantra because he knows there's going to be a guy pushing his courtyard. He can kind of smell it right now, and I'm not sure if there's a player there. Spartan was waiting on the overshield. There's going to be another player under bridge, and the rest of Sentinels, where are you guys? Because Lethal needs help getting the overshield.
Absolutely. It seems like, knowing what we know about the Sentinel side in Royal 1, there's likely certainly awareness around that overshield, but maybe they just didn't have the right positioning to play that. However, I do agree. It looked like there could have been a better attempt made on grabbing that. So now we are officially in a sudden death overtime. Next flag will win this game between Mantra and Sentinels, and what a great start to our winners bracket finals here on Pit Flag.
And Falcated gets to the back ramp of Sentinels, and that was a great opportunity for him to kind of stay alive and buy time and open the map. But Sentinel's doing a great job to take him out as quickly as possible. No damage done from Falcated, and now the map's kind of reset, and it's all about who's going to make the right push, who's going to get the kills. This is great damage on the Royal 2 that's going to back him up onto the flag, and we see multiple members of Mantra going through green. Falcated goes down, but the rest of the players see an opening.
And there you do see a trade now. It looks like it's going to be a 3v2 for a second. As we take a look and see how many dead on the side of Sentinels. Only one down. It's APG, and Snakebite will go down, but it doesn't look like we're going to see any kind of pulls coming out of this. Several trades coming through in that sequence of events.
Big solo win by Falcated there in green, right? Because that was going to be a good push opportunity for Sentinels. Roll 2 missing the easy shot, hitting the difficult one, and trading his kill into sword. That was a good job by Ace to kind of turn on Royal 2 and take him out, because getting the sniper out of Royal 2's hands is utterly important for the rest of this game.
Still seeing very good pressure from Mantra, but I do agree. Falcated dying there on the edge of that needle. When you do have that first death, it's pretty brutal. I think it was either on the receiving end of shots coming in from flag box and kind of needle pit, and it got caught off guard by a Royal 2 lethal combo, and that shut down the push so quickly. But now back on board with Spartan. He and Falcated pushing out from under bridge on their side. Lots of presence on this training side of the map right now. Shots also coming in from top turret is going to force Spartan to retreat. He has someone on his training, though. Overshield's up as well, so big moment in the match.
Yeah, it does look like Mantra is going to be able to get this overshield, but the overshield player is all by himself. The other 3 members for Mantra went down. Sentinel's doing a great job of maybe not getting the overshield, but immediately taking him out to where he's not a problem.
Ace is already on training. We'll see if right now he's also picked up a sniper. That's going to force World 2 back. Falcated now going green. Boo Boo's going to go bridge as well. So on each side of the map, we have Mantra kind of set up 2 on training side, 2 on green and long right now. They're going to get ready for a pretty standard push as well as we get into the next few minutes.
Yeah, thank you, Richie Hines, for hopping on board with Booba because what I thought was going to be a great opportunity to kind of push Courtyard and catch Sentinels off guard for a 3rd time. Doesn't work out. Sentinels has caught onto this strategy all too well, and now APG is shut Boo down, and this is the push opportunity for Sentinels. They only have about 7 seconds until Booba is able to respawn and get some help. Snakebite takes out 2. Booba coming off spawn. There's 1 player on the map that's advanced. Booba gets caught out in the pit. Does get the big kill on the APG, but Lethal finishes that kill from APG, and now they play for Rockets.
Lethal's going to grab this. You see APG down. It means they're going to have to wait just a minute to try to get some more presence, and that's going to be also Snakebite falling on the first BR. This is almost certain that this won't be a push from them. Lethal and the team is going to have to reset a bit. APG's already spawned sword side. He's going to apply some pressure there. But folks, if you were hoping that game 1 might give you any indication that this is going to be a great winners finals, I think we are sure of that. This has been an awesome first game here on the pit. And back and forth throughout the entire game, a rocket comes in from Lethal to clean up Spartan, and they'll start to make their push here, but Falcated with a great answer under bridge as well.
And that was a big kill by Lethal because everyone on Sentinels was weak, and this push is coming in, and Royal 2 has something to say about this push, right? But if Lethal doesn't get that rocket kill, all 4 players of Mantra would be pushing because everyone on Sentinels was really losing their shield pretty quickly. But Royal 2, I mean, he's just such a consistent anchor for this Sentinel squad, and he's doing such a phenomenal job while also trying to lead this team to some aggression because he's starting to get frustrated that this game isn't over yet.
Eating up there, killing spree for him. It's also a sniper rifle in the hands of Snakebite, and this is what we call a recipe for disaster. If you are on the side of Mantra, they will need to fight against 2 of the best snipers in the game here and try to stay alive. They need to prioritize these targets. Another headshot for Royal 2. He's not done yet. Heating up. Can he hit this on Falcated? Falcated pushes in boldly, and you think if Royal 2 had more of a fraction of a second, he probably would have hit that shot as well.
Absolutely, but Falcated didn't give him that fraction of a second. That was a great job by him to kind of overly aggressive pass the nade to make sure that he gets the sniper out of Royal 2's hand and gets Royal 2 out of his mauler. Falcated, once again, phenomenal defense, saving his team from potentially what would be the game-ending cap.
A killing spree for Snakebite as well. A double kill, though, for an ace comes through. Ooh. Can he hit this shot? A killing spree just misses the triple kill by a few frames as he'll push in there. 3 dead and unable to get away. That's a very big kill and great prioritization there coming in from Snakebite, who takes down Falcated as well. And now wasting shots as Boo Boo might try to hit a shot if anyone forces the runway angle. Yes, he does. It's going to be lethal. Hits the double body. Actually finishes with a head. And now as we cross the 10-minute mark, we've played 20 minutes of Pit CTF so far, and these two teams still tied at 1.
Boo Boo giving Sentinels a taste of like their own medicine, wasting their own snipe ammo and then rotating back to pick up his own because we know how lethal he is with the sniper. So that was a great job by Boo Boo to kind of get the sniper completely out of Royal 2, Snakebite's hands, and now Mantra is the only one with the power weapon on the map. Although they have 3 players down, are they going to know Boo Boo's here? It does look like multiple members are flying, and Boo Boo's in a tough situation. Needs to hit a shot, does not. And this is the opening that Sentinels needed. They are going to be running this flag as fast as possible. Roll 2 going down on the flag, but not before the flag gets into green.
Snakebite's already through green. He does fall, though. Who's there for the touch? Let's see who's going to be the one that is deemed the flag runner. APG already through green as well. That nade takes him down, though. Fantastic nade. Boo Boo Doo Boo's already through. So is Falcated. Falcated has rocks as well. Spartan is in their turret. He will go down. But Falcated might be able to get this return. All he has to do is rocket the touch.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this return is inevitable right now. Sentinels not able to get the frags they needed. A Mantra throwing phenomenal nades. The second APG came out of green with flag was immediately introduced to the frag grenade. And Mantra gets that stop, and now the onslaught of Mantra with these rockets is going to be a serious potential cap.
I'm curious where that nade came from, if it came from under bridge or if that was a team nade. Really weird angle for that to hit on Plat. That flag run starts. Boo Boo tries to go first, but he will go down, so immediately great defense answered back by the Sentinel side, still tied at 1. Neither of those flag runs will go anywhere.
And this game is long. This is who is built for the late game because we are currently in that. Any strategy that either one of these teams has to throw at each other has pretty much already been developed throughout this game, so now it's going to come down to just who is able to get the slays at the right times. It doesn't look like anybody is really in favor in this position. As I say that, the player needed to stay alive for Mantra on the flag because he would be running the flag right now. That's all 4 dead for Sentinels. Coming off spawn, there is a snipe, but the enemy has your flag.
Spartan with the first BR run. He is already in the needle pit and now going through needles. Has not been shot yet starting this run. Let's see if Snakebite can get some nades and shots in. Nades do not connect. Can't finish here. Royal 2 knows that he has one opportunity. Oh, my word! And hits the shot, not on the player coming from needles, but on the player who was coming in from long haul instead. What a shot there. And another one. Are you kidding me? Boo Boo Doo Boo cannot get picked out like that. He knows that Royal 2 is sitting there. There had to be call-outs of communication coming that was the case. There is a touch, though, on the flag. This is not over yet. Is there anyone in position on the other side for a touch? No. Boo Boo's the only one alive. Both players are in their S1. That flag will not get a touch. Royal 2 with the awareness to not only watch the needle side of the flag, but also ready for the long-haul sneaky touch. And that's why this man is one of the best players in the game.
Well, we talk about Falcated's defense. We have to talk about Royal 2's defense right there and how crucial each of those headshots were. And notice his reticle placement there. He had no intention of looking at the guy on the needler ramp right there. He always wanted to watch that flag, and he did such a phenomenal job of staying disciplined, believing in his teammates are going to get the kills that they need to get, but also making sure no one advances that flag any further. Royal 2 coming up clutch when his team needed him.
Absolutely. Hope we get to watch that replay after this game or after the series, just because that was quite a clip, and that is a veteran play to watch that side of the flag versus the other. Now, here we are, 6:30 left in the match. Like you said, Clutch, this is a marathon and one that will really come down to just a few differences. For example, Royal 2 doesn't hit that shot on long haul. This game's probably over, and we are in analysis talking about it. However, that was not the case. It's going to come down with how tight these teams are. You could say this about this game. You could probably say it about the entire series, that it is going to come down to just a few kills here and there. Just a few inches will be the difference maker.
Yeah, and a set of rockets can really be the difference maker. So I'm looking at APG to kind of bring some opportunity to the Sentinels roster here late in this game. We got 5:50 on the clock right now. This game is so into overtime right now that players are starting to question, like, are we going to be able to end this game? In this game, are we going to end up playing a replay? And what a story that would be. But APG waiting for Mantra to make the first mistake. switches weapons away from the rockets when he set himself up in a perfect position to get that rocket kill. You have to regret that if you're APG, but the rest of Sentinels is able to kind of counteract that, and no damage was really done. But unfortunately, APG, that could have been a real opportunity for Sentinels.
Haircut comes in for Lethal. You just saw that sniper contrail go straight past his head. And I was avoiding saying it, Clutch, so I didn't jinx it. But now that you've said it, we could be headed to a replay of this game. Was really hoping that neither of us would make a comment like that. But now here we are in the final 5 minutes. I have to say, though, Pit Flag as a 30-minute game type. Sometimes you watch a Pit Flag and you're like, gosh, is this ever going to end? This has been pretty amazing back and forth, kind of each team with some amazing jabs and blows back and forth. So as far as a tie Pit Flag goes, this one's been pretty great. Here comes Mantra once again, making it into turret and cuts. Boo picks up another kill on the top, and they're going to start to make this cut push. You know the opponents are spawning in the Mauler already, and Boo not slowing down at all.
Yeah, this is the push that Mantra needed. They have an overshield flag runner, so that's going to be a great advantage for them. 2 players for Sentinels go down in the Mauler. All 4 are still alive for Mantra. It's up to the last 2 players of Sentinel. Can they stop this flag? They're going to have to pull off a miracle because this is a great run by Boo. He's doing it so quickly. No one shooting him. And Mantra will take game 1.
Crowd loves to see it, and it was a hard-fought victory. They close it out. Royal 2 was the only one who was on bridge to get that stop. Of course, not going to be enough to get that, but my goodness, talk about the amount of precision required to get that final flag. And we only saw 3 flags in 27 minutes of play there. That's testament to the skill on this team. There's a 40 bomb from not only Boo Doo, but also 44 from Falcated. But we got to talk about 51 coming in from Snakebite. Obviously, when you have a 27-minute game, you're going to see great slays from both sides, unless there's a real problem with objective play on one side. But what a game 1, Clutch.
Yeah, I mean, how back and forth did that go, and how many opportunities did people just take advantage of? I mean, the defense that we saw from just individual players making individual plays to completely shut down team flag caps was pretty incredible. The Falcated and Royal 2 ones stick out in my head initially, but there were so many incredible plays, and it really came down to overshield control. And right here, I mean, Royal 2 doing such a phenomenal job of staying disciplined and watching that flag and not looking around trying to do too much, right? He knows his job so well there that he plays it perfectly. But Mantra, their power up and power weapon control being the difference maker towards the end, the overshield player really making a huge difference in that last push. And they find themselves up 2-1. And this is what I was telling you, if you're a Mantra fan, you got to win games 1 or 2. And if you win both of them,
set up good,
you have a chance to beat this Sentinels roster, right? And Countdown Slayer, a coin toss of a game can go either way. Really look for Mantra's power weapon control here. And if they're able to kind of control those weapons and do enough work with them like they were in game 1, they can find themselves cruising to a 2-0 lead.
Royal 2 goes plus 17 in that game, I believe, just in case you didn't catch it. He went 42 and 25. We talked about a lot of the players that had crossed that 40-point threshold, but we did not highlight Royal 2. Plus 17 in that game. They're not going to be happy losing that game number 1. Of course, by the way, huge shout out to the DreamHack production crew, because we did get to see that replay of that shot from Royal 2. It was a game-saving moment at that time. However, in the end, Mantra continues the pressure. Look at Elamite keeping the intensity on that side. He does not want them to slow the momentum down at all, Clutch, as we head into our game number 2. It's going to be Countdown Slayer.
Yeah, Elamite doing such a good job in game 1, getting his team those overshields right. And he's a veteran coach who's been through just about everything you can go through, has claimed just about every title you can claim as a player. He's done so as a coach as well, and he's got to be just a great addition to this Mantra squad.
1v1 Falcated versus Lethal. Falcated with a great push and a bold one at that as he pushes through Jet. Not afraid to take that challenge here. 2 kills will go 3 kills now coming in for that side. Ace grabs that camo and he plays the sniper rifle off and the camo as well. You know, that's a safe play, but also kind of wishing maybe he just trusted the no-scope and stayed alive with the camo snipe there, Clutch.
Yeah, I mean, Sentinels has got to be happy with that trade, right? They got the snipe out of Mantra's hands. They got the camo off the map, but Spartan the dog has found himself the rockets and the jetpack. You're able to do so much damage with the jetpack rocket combo from the radio to the big door like he's doing right now, and he's not going to force anything. He's not going to be eating these nades, and I love that he's just playing this slow and that he's going to start clearing out Sentinel's base right now, getting as much information to his team of where the possibilities of the rest of Sentinels are.
APG's top jet right now, by the way. APG did not see Spartan go down there, so we'll see if they are able to identify now as the Spartans able to pick up that one. They do gain the lead. Now finally it was APG that did eventually drop, and he will go back up top. Spartan forced to fire one safety rocket. He's going to jet all the way back up to radio and take down Snakebite. That's what you talked about, Clutch. Having the jet rocket combo allows you to abuse the map so well, as he's able to get from S2 all the way to radio to pick up a double. Now just like that, they're up 8-4.
Yeah, a phenomenal start for Mantra right now. With complete map control, Sentinels does finally take down Spartan, and they're going to look to push these radios, because that's the idea of what you want to control in Countdown Slayer, and it looks like their push is kind of going to get shut down. Ace doing a good job of staying alive, not getting caught off guard, does get good damage onto Lethal here, and Lethal finds himself in between two players of Mantra, does pick up Ace, but goes down immediately.
Yeah.
And Sentinels finds multiple players on the bottom of the map right now. Spartan in the radio, like, this is such a good start for Mantra right now. To be able to go up 2-0 in this series would be monumentous for their opportunity here, and they're doing such a good job of just rotating perfectly.
Here we go, still a 4-kill lead for them as we take a look across to see any power weapons at play right now. Going to be waiting for that next round of weapons. Boo Boo Dubu, though, just as fast as I say that, has found himself with a sniper. He's going to challenge outside. That one will not hit. Camo is up, by the way, outside. Should be there, and we'll see exactly who's able to grab it. I think it was a burn from Falcated. Yes, that will be a burn right around the 33 mark, and a double kill there for Royal 2. Still down by 5, but they once again avoid, in that scenario, the camo going away. They get back-to-back burns.
Down by 5, and 2 members go down for Mantra right now, but the sniper in Boo Boo's hands is a good situation. Rockets are going to be coming up right about now, and Sentinels is very aware of that, so they're going to be checking their big doors and take down Boo Boo immediately. Good shots by APG right there to win a one-on-one in the middle of a 1v2, right? So
Absolutely.
APG getting a huge kill to be able to trade that out, and now this battle for Rockets is really going to be able to dictate this mid-game.
Rockets down on that big door. Looks like Royal 2 has cleared them out, and he will be able to pick those up and scurry away back to Jet. Will reload, has 2 left. Big lead still, though, for Mantra. And I'll tell you what, with predictions coming in from us on the desk, all 3 of us saying this should be a Sentinels win based on what we know about that side. Mantra has certainly made a statement that we might not realize just the amount of talent they bring here. I think we're all aware of what they are capable of, but they have put on a show so far in this series. 24-16, pretty sizable lead in Countdown Slayer as well.
Yeah, it feels like Sentinels has never been able to really get control of up top, and even with Royal 2 with the jetpack rockets, he's not able to do what Spartan was able to do, and only trades the kill out, right? And I know he got a few kills with those rockets, but I mean, Mantra doing such a good job of taking out the rocket player, minimizing the damage, and not allowing this deficit or this lead to be cut into at all.
And here's what we know about the Sentinel side. They might be down by 5 here and have been for about the last 10 kills, but in any game type, and especially Countdown Slayer, they're within spitting distance of coming back, not only and tying this game, but running away with it. And you know that the Mantra side knows that as well. Sniper rifle in the hands of Snakebite. He finds someone else on the big door, and thank goodness that nade does not connect with Lethal, as you do see Royal 2 right below them. Some good composure here as they're still only down by 5. They've stayed in this. Mantra has done well, though, to make sure they maintain that 5-kill lead.
The fact that Falcated just got a double in that situation is pretty incredible, because he was surrounded by Sentinel members, and he is able to win a one-on-one and then trade immediately after. And I know that's a big kill onto the rocket guy, but unfortunately Spartan had camo, so it's almost preferred that the rocket guy got sniped, because now your camo player has rockets, and he's trying to wait for a jetpack right now so he can get up into the radio.
Oh boy! Snakebite with a double kill brings the game within 3. There's Spartan outside with the rockets. He will use that camo and the last rocket very well. Does he hit the triple? It's only a body shot there into the top jet. They'll pick up that kill. Now extends what was just a momentary 3-kill lead is now a 6-kill lead, thanks to a huge play from Spartan. And also got to give a shout out to Coach Elamite once again. That's their 3rd camo in a row. Sentinels forces the burn on the first 2, but Mantra able to grab that 3rd. It's a big difference maker, because now they're up by 8.
Yeah, Spartan playing so well this game too right now, and Falcated following suit. Both of them just continuously making plays on this map, and they're really opening it up for the rest of their team. And what we thought Sentinels was going to be able to cut into the lead, it looks like the lead is only going to extend to 8 right now. Mantra running away with this game.
Look at Ace here, just laying down. Look at that little shot on big door as well. 43-34. Sentinels has been caught off guard in this series. It is our first best of 7 on the main stage, so it's going to require 2 more wins after this one. But 46-35, only 4 kills to go. Ace gets another set of rockets on the big door. You know, with this kind of lead, he's just going to fly right in.
Yeah, I think that it's up to Ace to kind of just get a kill. And I mean, how much room for error does Sentinels really have. They do get one kill on the Ace, take out the Rocket player, but another kill goes down, and there's only 3 needed. Bubu unable to land the headshot on the APG, but it's going to be okay because they have so much room to breathe.
You know, Bubu checks big door, and he saw the jet, and you know he got tempted by going to get that jetpack based off of what we've seen this week, and he goes back for that jet. It cost him, but it doesn't matter because only one more kill to go. Snakebite's not done. Not going to take it lying down. 50-41 is our end score, though. We got to talk about Mantra looking very strong throughout that entire match. It came within 3 at one point, but Spartan the Dog with a huge play with that Camel rocket launcher outside on the big door to get that victory. They will close it out with a pretty convincing victory clutch, and they're up 2-0.
Yeah, and this is exactly what I thought Mantra needed to make this a series, right? I wanted to see them come out strong and get up 2-0 because those were definitely 2 winnable game types. This game 3 is going to be very telling because Nexus King is one of Sentinel's strongest game types. And I think that we're going to learn a lot about how the rest of this series is going to go, obviously, in this game 3. Because if Sentinels goes and wins this game, it's only a 2-1 and they're only down 1 in the series. But if you're able to get a 3-0 lead, there's no way you get reverse swept, right?
Yeah, +5 from Spartan and Ace in that game. That is truly the difference in the score line, right? Both of them adding to +10 to their team. And can't give enough of a shout as we take a look to their power-up control. And power-up control, once again, huge play by Spartan with that rocket as well.
To me, that's where the game changed completely and we never looked back, right? Spartan got the first set of rockets, was able to get the jetpack, and because he built his team a very comfortable 5-6 kill lead, they were able to run with that the entire game almost. And even when Snakebite gets a double no-scope headshot on your team, Spartan was the one to immediately answer the bell and get a few kills, right? So it's been unbelievable that Spartan is just able. He's always been one of those players that's been able to kind of like step up and make a play individually, and for him to do that for his team in game 2 is such a strong appearance here in our winners finals.
Look at this best of 7 right now. Mantra with 2 wins back-to-back. The Slayer, a much more convincing win than the Flag. If you're just joining us, that Flag was about a 27-minute pit CTF. It was one for the ages, but now we're getting ready to go right into game number 3. It's going to be King of the Hill on Nexus, and you know that the Sentinel side wants to bounce back. They had some pretty great slays in game number 1, but outplayed considerably in game number 2, and you can't say enough. The highlights told the story. Spartan with some huge rocket launcher plays back-to-back that had great double kills at pivotal moments in the game.
Yeah, if you're a Sentinels fan, I think you're still okay, right? I think you still can win this series. You should still be confident in this team. I think that this game, you really want to see a lot about the Sentinels, and you want to see them run away with this game and take this series by the horns, right? You got to see them start to get some confidence because these last 2 games can definitely question and waver an individual's confidence the way this series is already headed.
And I absolutely agree, and I think the other side to that as well is that if you're Mantra, you better know that this series is far from over. You need 2 very big game wins, and they will not come easily to win this best of 7. Royal 2 able to get that first snipe and rotate it to the back of the base. All eyes on Closet momentarily to make sure that no one's spawning behind him, and now they're going to set up and get a little bit of early time on this hill, but mainly what they're looking for is map control and the ability to rotate into that first side hill.
Yeah, what better way to start for Sentinels in game 3 being down 0-2 than to find Royal 2 on the Flag with the sniper. How much work have we seen him do in this position right here? Rips Falcated's face, lethal goes down. But Royal 2 having this snipe and being able to create some openings for his team on the map right now is what Sentinels is looking forward to.
Royal 2 finding Spartan all the way back, and my goodness, Spartan with some great shots across the map. It's not really going to make a huge difference in terms of opening things up, but it will force APG to be the one to grab that sniper rifle. And they're going to have to be ready for this move. 36 seconds, and they got a little bit of a 15-point lead that they'll be happy with, but really everything's to come. 3 dead momentarily here as Sentinels is making that push into blue. Here they come.
Yeah, and the hill's going to be moving in 25 seconds, so that's Sentinels' key to kind of rotate across the map, and immediately they do so. They take over red base by storm. Royal 2 is going to make sure the closet's blocked. He doesn't want anybody spawning over there, but spawners for Mantra came from the snipe side of the map. And now this is going to be a huge win if Spartan's able to get that. He's not. His teammate is able to pick up the kill, but the rest of Sentinels is continuing to spawn on the red side of the map now. Letho doing a good job of making sure no one's going to be spawning Closet, and I believe he's going to be by himself over here at red. So now Sentinels really in control of the map and has a serious opportunity to blow this game open.
And you can tell that Lethal was only comfortable looking away from Closet once he saw one of his teammates actually spawning in that Closet. That's how much we talk about that spawn blocking being prioritized on this map, as a nice body shot there will help. Snakebite clean up that. APG landing that one all the way from the back of the base. Another nice assist, so APG really playing some great support here. And now he does have a tube at his feet as well. Probably going to keep with these weapons. Doesn't hit the first body. Second body does go in. That's going to mean more time for Royal 2. He'll go down, but Lethal will be the one racking up more time on the board. As you said, Clutch, it's a much better start for the side of Sentinels.
Yeah, even though APG is not known for his sniping or isn't the best sniper on Sentinels, he's really locked down this red base for his team and is allowing this 47-2 lead right now. Landing all these body shots might not be the flashiest thing in the world, but what he's doing right now is just holding down and anchoring this red base, and he's doing such a good job.
Wow.
Does end up trading right there, and that was a phenomenal trade because Mantra would be in the hill right now, but now there's really no one in place to get in the hill, and Falcated finds himself by himself over at red. He can't get in the hill by himself yet.
That's an amazing, you cannot ask for, if you have one player alive in the back of a base during a moment like that on a side hill, you cannot ask for a better play than what APG just did to get a 2-for-1 trade. And look, no time on the board for Mantra at all. They're still up 47-2. Not only does it prevent them from getting time, but it also allows some great pressure for Sentinels. They're in the back of the base now, but Falcated does answer back with a double of his own, so it's still a fight for back red.
Yeah, and even though Mantra has been on the red side of the map so far, they still have 2 seconds of hill time. There's no scrap being done, and I really worry about how they're going to be able to come back in this game if they're not going to be a scrappy team, because Sentinels is not going to let you set up. They're not going to give you the room to breathe, especially down 0-2 in this series. Their backs are officially against the wall, and they're trying to fight for their tournament lives right now. Sentinels really waking up now in this game 3.
It is bad news. We've got over 4 minutes of play in this game so far, and Mantra still has 2 seconds on the board. When we talk about a lack of points after this amount of time, it's safe to say that in this tournament, this is probably the least time that a team has put on the board so far in this game, at least into our later stages of the bracket. Still 54-3.
Yeah, and although 1 second comes in, a 4th second doesn't come immediately after, and a member of Mantra stumbles into the hill for just a couple more, but they really got to start being scrappy, and I know that they're really struggling with the slays of Sentinels throughout this game so far. If I had to guess, how much damage Sentinels has been able to do to them has really kept them out of the hill, and it results in the score.
And I think the other side of that is that if you're on Sentinels, you might even think we should have more than 54 at this point with how this game has gone so far, Clutch.
Yeah, I think if Sentinels was a little bit more of a scrappy team, this game would be blown wide open, but they're all about setups. And speaking of setups, we see that this hill is going to be moving here in a minute, and Mantra holding down blue already. This is a great opportunity for Falcated to kind of bring his team back into it. He needs to stay alive at blue and stay alive with the sniper and hold these angles. Multiple members, 4 Sentinels go down. No one in the hill right now for Mantra. That's a big mistake. They get in it a little bit late, and Boo-Boo's immediately forced out of it. Great job by Lethal to be one of the last players alive for his team, but to keep Mantra from getting any scrap time, to keep this score the way it is. But now we are going to have to see, is Sentinels able to kind of make this 25-second push that they were able to make to red the first time around?
Great play from Spartan there. It's a double kill and a killing spree for him. You saw him timing that shot on the bottom gap, as well as timing his push around, even though he was weak with low shields and low health. Knew the team shot was coming in on the S2 angle. He will finish that out. So just like that, it's a 34-point game in a game that absolutely should be a much higher margin for the side of Sentinels.
Yeah, but Mantra's done a great job right now of holding blue this entire time, and Snakebite does get a kill, which could potentially open up the map, but Mantra held blue for an entire 2 minutes, and as soon as the hill rotates, they go down right now. Boo-Boo by himself as Snipe, picking up a huge double kill, but gets his face ripped off immediately, and who other than APG in this game 3 right now with the Snipe is doing work, because he is the reason that Sentinels is able to have so much success so far.
I think Brad heard you talking about how he's not the best sniper on the team, and he wants to prove you wrong. That's going to be a sniper rifle. Does eventually move into the hands of Ace. He will pick up another kill as well, and it will be some more control for Mantra. So what was a great opening for Sentinels is now a pretty questionable mid-game, and they're going to actually be wondering how on earth did we find ourselves only with now less than a 30-point lead after the first opening 7 minutes of this match.
Yeah, they need to break this setup, and they've been trying to do that for the past 2.5 minutes, right? And they haven't been able to. So what's going to be the answer? It doesn't feel like they have a great setup break for what Mantra's throwing at them right now. Big kill on the Ace. Ace, you need to play your life better than that because now the onslaught of Sentinels coming green is coming. Falcate getting caught off guard too. Does have the grenade launcher to try and trade this kill. Unfortunately, he doesn't land a good grenade launcher, and Royal 2 picks it up for himself. And Sentinels now in the hill with control of blue.
And Royal 2 going to pick up that nade launcher, also block closet. Now they're going to extend, and as we said, they're not going to be happy with how this scoreline looks at the moment, and they're looking to change that here for the rest of the game. What I'd love to see from Sentinels, and it could be a sign of what their tournament could look like, is how they play the second half of this Nexus King, because they could have played a lot cleaner, a lot more efficient, and now they're in an opportunity to really get a little bit tighter and get back in this series.
Interesting push by Royal 2 there. We saw him go from blue closet all the way to front red with the grenade launcher, trying to get a flank on the players that snipe. It actually is going to end up paying off because he was able to delay the push of Mantra for a little bit while his teammates were staying in the hill, and now APG anchoring the best thing he does right now and staying in the hill. And I mean, the fact that he's still alive, being such a difficult kill for Boobadooboo this entire time, that was just another great job by APG to kind of like play his life individually because the rest of his team went down, but he didn't allow Mantra to get any of that in scrap time before the hill rotated.
Here we go now. Boobadooboo also once again cleaning out his closet, and then also taking a look up top to get that kill at top green. He'll pick that one up. Another nice shot on Lethal as well. With all that said, it's still just a 47-point game here. Far from over with 6:30 left. Boobadooboo anchoring here with the sniper rifle. If they get a few more kills here, then they do a killing spree for Boo Boo. They're getting some great scrap time here. This is great scrap time that we didn't see Sentinels get. And if they're able to kind of continue control, they should not prioritize green too much now. Let's see them maintain control, and they could get right back in this game.
Yeah, I know. Mantra's gotten a little bit of scrap time on this top hill, but I think Sentinels is doing such a good job of, like, there's one player alive for Sentinels, and he's able to back that guy out of the hill from Mantra before too much damage is done, right? I think that Sentinels is really kind of losing momentum right now in this game, but they're doing a good job of kind of like holding on to the thread and making sure that Mantra's not racking up too much time in this top hill because, yeah, Mantra's in a perfect position for this hill to rotate to red, and they're going to rack up a lot of time if they're able to hold a setup. But right now, they're not really getting too much hill time, so that's going to create a little bit of a comfort zone for Sentinels.
Certainly, they have definitely kept Mantra at bay throughout this entire bout of control. We have seen a lot of time in terms of control percentage coming in for Mantra. It has not necessarily translated on the scoreboard. Still about a 34-point game right now. As we take a look, closet spawns did come in, though. They were ready for it, and now they might be able to get 2 down if he can stay alive here. Falcate knows he should not be challenging if he can avoid it, and they're able to take down Snakebite without losing him. That's going to be a momentary 4v2. Hill moves in 10.
That was a phenomenal job by Falcate to stay alive both these times, and this member of Sentinels is not going to expect him to be there. Lethal does go down, and a phenomenal job. Once again, Mantra doing an incredible job of holding the map, right? Like, they have rotated early and often to these side hills so far after the first hill, and it's allowed them to stay in this game, and now this is a serious opportunity for them to come back.
Goodness gracious, where did that spawn come from? Someone got through in a very big way. It's a double kill from Lethal as we take a look at how many are dead on the other side. Falcate is the only player alive at S2. Can't really put any pressure on that, and whether it was a rock ramp push or a closet spawn, something horrible happened on the side of Mantra. Sentinels takes advantage of that.
Yeah, as soon as you saw 3 members of Mantra towards the hill, you had to be wondering, are they blocking closet? And the answer to that was probably no, because Lethal was able to come behind them, throw 1 nade, pick up 2 one-shots, and break everything that Mantra works so hard for.
Absolutely, and that could be, if we look at this series and it goes a certain way, that could be a pretty big turning point between these two teams. It's a catastrophic result on that hold, and definitely a big gap in their setup. It's now still 121 to 84.
Yeah, and I love this position by Falcate. He's really going to want to play his life. There's 55 seconds left on this hill, plenty of time, but he jumps out of the window, and that's such a questionable jump out because he knew multiple members of Sentinels was going to be pushing from the snipe, right? And I think that that was a little bit of an over challenge, but it does look like Mantra's able to pick up the slays they need. Ace picking up a huge kill on the Snakebite before Snakebite's able to take his teammate down in the hill. Ace does spot multiple nades coming in. Another closet spawn for Sentinels, doing such a good job of keeping a player back there, keeping a player alive in order to help the rest of the team be in an advantageous position. But this is the last one alive back here. Lethal gets taken down by Falcate, but Snakebite's there to clean it up and immediately jumps in the hill. Good job by Snakebite to only be the one really alive on the map at the time and get in the hill to be able to get this lead a little bit more comfortable.
And moments before that in the spawn cycle, it was only Royal 2, excuse me, that was in the closet, forcing all of those spawns in the back of the base. He's able to pick up those kills, and even though both those players went down, APG went down in the back of the base as well. Like you said, that allowed Snakebites to push bottom bridge, and they just are causing chaos on the side of Mantra. Now still, by the way, we have to mention, 250 left in the game. This is still possible. It's still only a 36-point difference.
Mantra did everything right for that Red Hill setup, other than the one time they overextended towards the snipe, didn't block the closet, and it feels like even though they had control of red base a majority of that time, they were unable to like really rack up some significant hill time, and that's got to feel disappointing if you're on Mantra right now, because it feels like you're playing so well, you have so much control, but you're still not seeing the score you want to see.
Boo in between a rock and a top mid, which happens to be a very hard play. Somehow stays alive and goes for the Hail Mary shot. Does play the sniper rifle off, though. Pretty cheeky play to get that into the gap down to the bottom of the map now. About a 40-point game, as Mantra knows this is the home stretch. 2 minutes left in the game. They need to play some pretty perfect Halo throughout this last minute up top, and then the final minute on the side hill as well.
And a team not known for racking up scrap time has kind of changed their identity, and they're going to have to if they want to come back down 0-2 in this winner's finals, and they're doing a phenomenal job of getting whatever time they can in this top hill. Snakebite's still alive over there, gets a player to no shield. APG's able to trade while picking up the no shield player bottom green as well. APG continuing to reign terror in this game 3 Nexus.
Absolutely. Snakebite picks up another one as well. Every time you see something like a double kill or kills like that on the hill, that's going to just extend the cushion that Sentinels has even further. It's now here just about a 50-point game as we take a look at the clock. 122 left here. Only 20 seconds left up top, and then things will go to blue. That's why Sentinels is already here. They are ready to set up. They are not going to leave this closet. APG also the one with that S2 control as well here. Just about 68 seconds left in the game.
Yeah, and I think APG, he's been on fire with snipe this whole game, so how fitting is it that he's going to end this game with the last sniper, and he's going to start wasting ammo, but I want to see him kind of turn around, try and make a play. You only have one bullet in the chamber because you decided to try and waste ammo. There's a player flying at you in the window, and now Booba Dooba sweeps in, and he's going to have a 3-bullet snipe himself. APG, that was a questionable opportunity to try and like waste the snipe ammo, because you could have really made a play there. A great job by Lethal and Snakebite right here working together, keeping Lethal alive for as long as possible. And now Snakebite trying to buy some time, trying to stay alive because he's got multiple members spawning, trying to push through green. Good job by APG to get off spawn quickly. Push, but this is a serious problem. Mantra has complete setup.
Look at this now, and they've even got a few-point cushion. They've held it for the past 25 seconds. It looked like it was tight, but it's actually not as tight because they've held so well. Right now, they need to get the first kill. Boo Boo Dooble gets it on Lethal. This could be the secured win. They get a second one as well. It's almost guaranteed. They tie the lead. They gain the lead. 10 seconds left in the game here. 159 to 156. They are about to close it out here. That will be it. Mantra will go up 3-0 in the series in a huge comeback win.
A monstrous collapse right there, right? And that's the second time we've seen the Sentinels roster collapse like that in the last hill of this tournament. And a phenomenal job by everyone on Mantra to stay focused, stay in the game, keep it close, and when it matters, make the plays you need to make. What a setup right they had there.
Are you kidding me? My heart's racing. As you saw, Lethal and Snakebite working together on the rock ramp, the front base, you think they might have enough presence in around that side of the map. Let's take a look at the stats quickly. It's going to be Falcated going 28 and 21 plus 7, the biggest margin in the game. But my goodness, I think that one was the tightest we've seen yet, and what a comeback. That is a huge win for Mantra. Let's look at the highlights in just a moment because, man, what a game. You thought that Snakebite and Lethal kind of had the rock ramp front base scenario down, right? They were going to apply that pressure and just simply keep them out of the hill. We didn't even have to talk about how Mantra, there should have been a scenario where they needed every second.
Yes.
But they played that hill so well that they didn't even need every second. They were able to play that and apply great pressure with the timing of the hill. They wasted no time. They had that hill every single moment for about 40 seconds straight.
As well as APG played that entire game, that last snipe, he's got to be kicking himself, right? Because he starts getting shot, and even though he gets shot just about twice, he starts wasting snipe ammo. And by the time he realizes that they're going to push, he's having to reload the snipe. He has taken himself out of the play because he no longer can shoot his gun because he's having to reload. And that is the timing window that Mantra really took advantage of. And then before you know it, he's got a guy flying in his window already. APG's got to be kicking himself, because if you play that a little bit slower, you're able to maybe land a body shot on the player top snipe because you have more than one bullet in the chamber, and that stops the Mantra push right there. But Mantra basically taking advantage of what Sentinels thinks is a great strategy to waste snipe ammo and really coming back to bite them. Now they're up 3-0 in the series.
And here we are now heading into our game number 4. It's going to be CTF on Sanctuary, and this could be the map where Bubu and Co. get a clean sweep on Sentinels. And who on earth would have thought that that would be the case, given the tournament history and legendary success of the gentleman on the side of Sentinels. It is a huge comeback in game number 3, a heartbreaker for the side of Sentinels. And you want to think that they're going to be fired up, but you know, they've lost 3 straight now, and we really haven't seen the resilience and the late game finishes from Sentinels. They played such a great game, 50-point lead throughout almost the entirety of game number 3. In the end, it's a huge Mantra comeback that sees it to a 3-0 lead now in our game number 4. If you're just joining us live from DreamHack Anaheim, you have picked a great series to watch. This now will be the conclusion of the winners finals, and another shot from Bubu. And we've talked about, Shyway pointed out how dangerous this man is on this map. And based off of the first 3 games, you can expect that he is going to be hot again, even against a team like Sentinels.
Yeah, this game 4 is not a strong one for the Sentinels roster, right? I think this is a great opportunity for Mantra to kind of close the door on this series and find themselves in the finals. This series is not over, though, and they know this all too well. This Sentinels roster can come back from any deficit, so they've got to stay focused. They've got to be hype, and who better than Bubu to kind of lead that mentality, right? He's ripping faces left and right and holding down this side of the map, but Mantra unable to kind of advance on the map past ring. Multiple members go down, 3 of them. Bubu finds himself no shield, and this is all 4 dead if Bubu goes down. And now Mantra spawning in the rocks is going to need to get some important kills.
Here we go now, APG staying alive on the flag ramp as well. He will get challenged though on the turret plasmas. Eventually Snakebite will turn around and take down Ace, but Ace does well to at least get 1. Starting the run now, does see a mid-rock spawn. That's going to be falcated. Great shots out of Snakebite to stay alive as well. They've got a few numbers, but they need to be careful here as he can't run that flag just yet. Another nade will keep him weak. It's going to be unfortunate that he takes that. We'll see if they can continue this run. And now he has Royal 2 helping in mid-rock as well. Drop. Bubu frickin' Dubu! A double kill that he'll pick up. He will eventually go down, but he stops the run again. And man, this is going to be a fantastic game number 4, but Sentinels is going to need to pull out something special if they are to shut down the momentum that Mantra has.
Yeah, well, it looked like it was going to be a guaranteed Sentinels cap after all 3 of those players go down. Bubu is the first one to spawn, picks up the snipe, and the defense from Pit once again shows itself. The individual plays that Mantra is able to make when their backs are against the wall, when they're put in high-pressure situations, is a testament to why they're up 3-0.
We just saw Bubu also win that earlier battle. We highlighted it, Royal 2 against Bubu. There's been 2 top-tier snipers fighting against each other. Royal 2 kind of the more historic god-tier sniper, but Bubu has been putting on a show and challenging him all series long. And what a stop it was from Bubu just now on that double kill on that mid-rock. In the last second gets that stop, but once again, Mantra now flying in. It's a double kill for Bubu as he's going to now control mid-rock, block these mid-rock spawns as well. Taking a look at turret and courtyard, does see a few coming through court.
Yeah, this should be a cap for Mantra. I love that Bubu is coming back with these rockets, but he's not in a really great position unless he has the jetpack. And of course he has the jetpack, and he's able to get that first kill on the player that was most likely to kill the flag player. Spartan, do you take your time? Yes, you do. And this is a great job by Mantra, really rotating back with the flag guy, coming back and making sure we can secure the first cap.
Able to bring that up. They will go up in the game 1-0 does Mantra. Now they're only 2 caps away, or about just over 10 minutes away, depending on how this game ends, from closing the series out 4-0 if this score holds. But based on the intensity we've seen, you know that they're not going to be happy with that. On the other side, though, Sentinels fighting for their winners bracket lives, trying to apply as much pressure as they can, but already finding themselves down in game number 4 as well.
Yeah, Lethal getting swarmed by multiple members of Mantra, and that's a great job to get that kill, because if Lethal can be a nuisance for long enough, his backup is surely to arrive. But as I say that, 2 red X's.
Here we are, we're back. Apologies if you lost us for just a moment. We had to step aside and catch our breath here because just how well Mantra is playing. Now double kill comes in for Spartan as well. He's been kind of the I don't want to call him a backup sniper because it does a disservice to him, but he's been the player that has had sniper rifle the second most on the team, and obviously he's able to do such damage with it as well. Now, as we're just about 5 minutes into the game, and now Sentinel still trying to find a way to get control. On the ring wall here, here's Falcated, great shots out of Lethal. You expect him to hit those shots. Also pushing up with Snakebite. Ace right away, though, and I gotta say, we're seeing great kills coming in from Sentinels. It feels like every time, though, there's another player that's pushing. This might be another example of that. No, it's great work out of Royal 2 to take down Falcated, but I'm loving what I'm seeing. There's strength in numbers coming from Mantra. Even if a Sentinels player makes a great play clutch, it feels like a Mantra player is only one step away to still always get that finish. Yeah, multiple Mantra members are just rolling in packs together. Like, their teamwork is really showing true, right? And I think that their play styles, we had to wonder coming into this event, like, are they going to be able to mesh as well as they have been online? And it feels like watching them play right now, they are on the same page as far as every situation goes, and players are stepping up when needed, and that's a very good recipe for success. I got to talk about that play just now. You saw Bubu staying alive in the court, and then 3 players push in. They pick up that first kill, so it's Bubu in a 1v3 from the shotgun tunnel, and he trades. That is, I think, the story of the series. There's no way if you're on Sentinels that you can allow Bubu in a 1v3 from the shotgun tunnel to be getting a trade and pushing out into the courtyard and be getting a melee trade. That's not the Sentinels we're used to seeing, and that is what we've seen all series long, is Bubu and the rest of the team squeaking out situations and trades that they absolutely should not have. Still 1-0 here in game number 4. Yeah, that was all 4 dead for Sentinels for just a second, and all 4 of them spawned up on the flag in the rock ramp right here. And Mantra pushing him with snipe, pushing him with rockets, and Falcated also pushing in for the flag right now. And he's going to be able to run this snipe side with multiple members of Sentinels spawning in the rocks right now. Lands a nice body shot, and immediately he's taken down by Ace. And that's the teamwork that we're talking about that is just so evident. A double and an assist from Ace. This is going to be flag cap number 2. Mantra 1 cap away from sweeping Sentinels. Look at Ace now. He's here as well. Going for these shots. That's going to be 2-0 as Falcated does bring that flag in. He takes a rock route with ease. And like you said, Clutch, 1 cap away, and it feels like they're going to do it in regulation time based on what we've seen so far from 4-0ing the world champions in Sentinels. Yeah, and just the overall map control that they've been able to have over Sentinels so far in this game 4 is really just speaking volumes to the caliber of team that we really are watching. Like you said, against world champions in Sentinels, against guys that have been doing this and consistently are calling themselves champions at the end of the day, that's a tough team to play like this against, and I am so impressed from what we're seeing from everyone on the side of Mantra. And now Bubu picks up another kill in those rocks, and we talked about it yesterday, and we didn't know that it was going to be the exact scenario here, but keep in mind, APG, Lethal, Royal 2, Snakebite, these guys are Halo Reach legends and champions, and 10 years ago, dominating in this game. Several of the guys on Mantra, right, were about 10 or 11 years old when this game dropped. So now making a statement here in our winners bracket finals as Spartan pushing through will get a trade with Royal 2. Yeah, and I'm not really sure what Sentinels is going to have to do in order to kind of like make up this 2 flag deficit. They're going to need to control power weapons a little bit better, because I feel like every time Mantra has gotten their hands on a set of rockets, they've been able to kind of take advantage of those rockets and get flag caps out of them. So Sentinels, you need to do a better job of controlling those rockets and advancing on the map. And this is a good, finally, an opportunity for Snakebite and friends to really get some map control, but immediately a random nade comes off the wall and picks up the kill on the Snakebite, and that's got to be such a frustrating feeling for Sentinels, because you know as soon as one of your teammates go down, that flag cap is basically dead, and the opportunity to run the flag is gone, and Mantra's defense stays strong once again. APG picks up another double kill. That's not the first time we've seen him get one of those this game, keeping his team in this, but one of the things I'd love to point out, and we always say this, is Sentinels is a team you can never count out ever. Even down 3-0 and 2-0 in this game, we know they're a team that can bring back some wild series results, but we only know that based on their history. This series has not actually given us an indication that that is possible here. So while I'm excited to say this could still go the distance, it's hard to bet against Mantra right now. Well, we see Snakebite finally picking up the set of rockets for Sentinels, and what is he going to be able to do? He's going to have to make the play, and immediately gets taken down by Bubin in an unbelievable quick scope to the body. Quick switch to the DMR, and a finish from him. And, I mean, Bubu has done such a good job of anchoring and canceling out any push that Sentinels has had, and we know this feeling all too well. Bubu jetpack sniping, and if you get him in his comfort zone, he's going to do some serious damage. In case you missed it yesterday, folks, this is the Boo Boo Doo show. Right now, he's going to kick up maybe this kill. Finally, APG shuts him down. But the angles that Boo Boo has been getting, not only with the sniper rocks, but also sniper and jet, but also with the rocket and jet to cover off those flag angles, as you highlighted earlier, Clutch. He's really been abusing this map and also abusing the Sentinel side in this series so far now, as we are about 5 minutes left in regulation. Still Mantra 1 flag away. Sentinels yet to put a flag on the board.
Nice trade by Snakebite, ending up getting sandwiched by 2 players from Mantra, and that's going to allow APG to kind of get behind this player and Falcated on the rock. Is Falcated able to trade this? If he is, that's a huge trade for him because APG was the most advanced player for Sentinels on the map. It's kind of going to reset map control right now. And then speaking of resetting map control, we have Spartan the Dog with Snipe, who's going to be taking Lethal's face next.
And you know, if you're on the Sentinel side, you have to think and hope that they're not thinking about that game 3, because what a different series this would be if they simply closed out the game that they had a 50 or more point lead in almost the entirety of the game. They could play this game a lot easier with a very different mindset, but instead they are backs against the walls. 4:22 left in this game and potentially their series. Spartan staying alive in the back. Is this an opportunity for Sentinels to push through? He does lose Boo Boo Doo Boo on the turret ramp and has a player weak here as well. And now APG's going to fly in. 3 dead momentarily. Lethal with the sniper. Now we see some good control from Sentinels. They will start this flag run here. Royal 2 is now going for a court run and now waiting and trying to see if any slays come through.
Signs of life from Sentinels finally once they get some power weapon control. 2 players on the team have sniped. Lethal trying to hold off Mantra's overextension, unable to spot the player pillars. The flag player does go down, but Snakebite's going to need to slay. There's a player, his jump up. He's able to get him to no shield, does trade the kill, but who on Sentinels is getting a touch? It's got to be up to Royal 2. He sees 3 red X's. He's also getting beamed across the map.
Oh my God! Cap. Triple kill from Falcated. Does he hit the overkill? No, he's going to wait. Get away out of his own nade and a few nades as well. But it doesn't matter. It's a triple kill from Falcated. The flag run was already dead, but that's insult to injury because this could be the 3rd and final cap coming in for Mantra. If they start a flag run here, more rock spawners to come.
So many times Sentinels puts themselves in the perfect situation to get an opportunity to get some objective done, and so many times Mantra is able to just stop it somehow, some way. Boo Boo Doo Boo rips a face in the rock, spots the player courtyard.
Oh!
Sorry, Lethal. You're going to the
me?
losers bracket.
Boo Boo Doo Boo's not done yet. Picks up that shot as well. Let's see exactly where that flag is. Falcated does not get a touch, though. It's going to have to be up to Spartan. Can he fly in for it? No. Flag reset. And actually, it looked like he didn't even try to desperate that flag touch. So that flag will go back, and Boo Boo Doo Boo still putting on a show in his opponent hut. My word. What a set of plays from Mantra. They do not close out the game there. However, only 2:35 left in regulation, and this Mantra team has been amazing to watch so far.
There's still time for this Sentinels roster, but they have to do it now. And Royal 2 trying to force the push onto Rocks. As you see, he's unable to get 2 straight kills in a row. Ace doing a good job of managing the rest of his time right now. 2 minutes left. Sentinels has to start making plays. It's almost got to be perfect Halo.
It would have to be absolutely perfect Halo, especially with the numbers that we just saw. Both teams kind of having 2 or 3 dead. Royal 2 knows he needs to get in the hut. He needs to be there immediately, and that's the push that he's making. Boo Boo still with the sniper rifle and jet, which seems once again to be always the case and so hard for the Sentinels team to play against. Royal 2 is now going to be in about a 1v3 or a 1v2. He will go down from Falcated, and now less than 2 minutes left in regulation. It's another triple kill from Falcated back to back. Are you kidding me? Now looking for Snakebite on the turret rock as well. Just peek shotting there. And Snakebite knows there's not much he's going to be able to do in that situation either. It was still 2 dead for Sentinels. And all that Mantra needs to do is just keep playing this way. I mean, it seems like the sniper rifles, the jetpacks, and the triple kills are just coming in spades.
In the most important series that Falcated has probably ever played in his life, he has showed up and played to his potential, right? I think every single game we've highlighted some incredible individual performances from him, and he's doing so. I mean, even the fact that he's able to get that kill is going to shut down this push from Toxin. 3 red X's, last guy alive. APG in the ring does get a kill, and he's going to try and advance for this flag because he has to. There's literally no other play, but Boo Boo Doo Boo was sniping the hut, and Jetpack has something to say about it every single time.
I'm just going to let this breathe for a moment. We're going to, here's Boo Boo Doo Boo just jetpacking and picking up kills. He's going to get these angles.
That was close.
I mean, look at this. He's just going to jet right here on this little angle in the bond. This is an area you will not nade unless you know about some god tier ring 3 nade that we don't know about. Ryan Noob might, to be honest. Picks up another kill. Just look at this. Finally gets out sniped by Snakebite. 30 seconds left in regulation. You can almost be sure this is it. And actually, in terms of the flag running time, that is it. This is a victory lap here for the side of Mantra. Snakebite up ring 3. He already knows it, that this series is going to be over. 10 seconds left in regulation as the guys on Mantra will now beat Sentinels 4-0 in our winners bracket finals. No surprise, Spartan is the first man to stand up, and this Mantra side is fired up.
Yeah, and celebrate they should, because I don't know if I've ever seen this Sentinels roster just beat like they just got beaten. I know that there was a lot of close games on the way to this 4-0, right? But it felt like every time Mantra clutched up. And then in that game 4, that was a very dominant performance from the entire squad. We take a look at the stats here. A +10 from Boobadooboo, nothing new there. But it's Fallicated, it's Spartan that are really, really impressing me throughout this entire series.
I mean, take a look at those numbers, take a look at that series. This has been, and I mean, it speaks, the fact that we all predicted a Sentinels win here in this series, and I think there was a little bit of a closer split in terms of the chat voting for Mantra there. They knew something that